Chris Hendrickson. I'm one of the cardiac intensive care doctors and one of the advisors for the QSA program. Myself and Dr. Korchek are the two physicians that work with the QSAs on a daily basis and help supervise and provide advice and input and rely on the QSAs to help us with safety and quality projects.
As a QSA, I get to be involved in lots of interesting projects that have a direct impact on patient care. So, for example, our critical care units introduced a new tape that was supposed to better secure breathing tubes that patients were using. And our QSA database had data from several years on tape performance and tape failure. So I was able to go and analyze our new tape's performance and determine whether it had an impact on our unit's performance. And that analysis helped our leadership to decide whether they wanted to keep using the new tape or not.
Hi, Chad.
Hey, Krista.
How are ya?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. How was last night? Any quality or safety concerns?
We do. We had an exhibition last night,
Okay.
and it was with this new tape that we have.
Yeah.
This is not the tape ET tube that was pulled, but I just want to demonstrate to you how we do not like this tape.
Okay.
Because the ET tube just slides back and forth, the trombones back and forth within the tape.
Okay.
So it's secured on the face, but the tape allows the tube to go back and forth.
Okay.
So I just wanted to report this to you.
So this didn't happen with the old tape that we used?
Not with the old stuff.
Okay. It didn't. Okay. Gotcha. Can I
So
have this?
You can have that,
Okay,
and here's the
go.
roll of tape itself.
Does it? Do you think the tape has anything to do? Is it with the increased secretions with kids, or do you know a reason why it's not? Our patients are different than NI and CV.
It's just not sticking to the tube very well.
Okay. Good to know. Anything
All right,
else? Go.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
So what you just saw was me and Jed doing a mock incident rounds, which the QSIs do every morning. We go around and talk to the nurses. And I thought this was a really good example of something that actually happened this year with the endotracheal tube tape. So the PICUs and the CV got new tape. And so we heard about it a lot on incident rounds, and we also track data related to accidental extubations. So our job has both quantitative and qualitative sides, and so from a quantitative side, after the trialing of the tape, we saw an increase in our accidental extubations. And then from a qualitative side, we talked to the nurses about the tape, and they really didn't like it. So when it came time that the medical directors were thinking about pulling the tape from the units, we were able to show them quantitatively that we had an increase in accidental extubations with the tape, and qualitatively that the nurses didn't like using this tape at all. And those two pieces together, they pulled the tape from the unit. So I thought that was a really cool example of the two sides of our job working together.
One of the things that I like about this job is it gives me the opportunity to use some of the statistical methods and programs that I learned in college. And although statistical analysis isn't a huge part of this job, and you can certainly apply for the job without being a stats person, I really like the opportunity to practice and develop some of those quantitative analysis skills, and I appreciate that opportunity.
So one of my favorite parts about being a QSA is morning incident round. So each morning we go around and talk to all the nurses on the unit and ask them if they had any quality and safety concerns. And I think this gives a lot of meaning to the data we do. We do a lot of work on a computer, but we get to start each day talking to people, and I really appreciate this part of the job. Several nurses have told me that, they're like, QSAs actually do stuff sometimes. You can't always help, but sometimes you can. So I think that's a big part of our job is problem solving. So a nurse will tell us about something, and then we'll have to figure out who should I email about this. And I really like that critical thinking part. And then also it's just fun to talk to people that, they tell us about their quality and safety concerns, but also nurses are really good teachers and often telling you the medical side of a patient.
So one of my favorite things about being a QSA is all of the opportunities for learning that you get every day. And so we get to go on safety rounds and the CV and the PICU, and you get to listen to the physicians, nurses, pharmacists, respiratory therapists, dietitians, talk about each patient, and you really get to learn what goes into taking care of a patient in different situations that these different health professionals will be in. In addition, I've also really liked the fact that we've gotten to reach out and learn from different departments in the hospital, so you get to see what goes into taking care of a patient, not just at the bedside, but all throughout the hospital. So for example, we've done projects with the security department, the quality and safety department, and the infection prevention and control department.
QSAs are invited to attend weekly case conferences in which providers talk about the interesting and unusual cases that they've treated in the past week, and it's a really great opportunity to learn about uncommon medical presentations and how patients who have some of these uncommon conditions might be treated. The hospital also sponsors a weekly Grand Round series in which local and national experts come and talk about healthcare related topics. And in the last several months, we've heard about everything from gun violence in America to medicines to manage ADHD to new technologies that help premature infants to develop properly. So it's also a really great opportunity to hear from experts in the field and learn about everything that's changing and developing in medicine. So if you're looking for a medical gap year position, but you're also interested in looking at something beyond scribing or research, I would certainly recommend looking at the QSA position.